Hello and welcome to the SRL Mines. It's the second match of the afternoon. It's the Firehawks taking on the Stingrays. Once again, I'm your SRL Mines Commissioner, Will Kay, joined in the commentary box by the one and only Blair Curtin. How are you going today, Blair?
G'day, Will. Not too bad, not too bad. It's a real exciting match this afternoon. Looking to see how we go and really looking to see how each team's halves do this afternoon.
Absolutely. The halves in both these teams are some of the best players that the Mines have to offer. Jack Crichton and Phyllis Windmill-Skeed for the Stingrays, and in the Firehawks it's Daniel Hellier and Joseph Jackson. Firehawks this week got a completion of 8 out of 9 possible upgrades for their team, so it was a very, very good effort from them. The Stingrays following behind that, but I'm sure that both teams will have such an outing here. Do you have any players that you tip are going to make a big impact on this game?
I reckon Crichton. Crichton, he's got the big boot on him, I believe.
He's a hot stepper, I believe.
Hot stepper, okay, that's interesting. We'd normally see the big boots taking the kickoff, but if he can step and he can shimmy at the line, he can really break the defensive line open, because in the mines, in nines generally, you have so much more space to work with.
Absolutely. As we saw in the last game, just using that space, especially some of the forwards just running up through the middle, has been really, really good for them. And it just offered a whole new, I guess, dimension of versatility for some of the forwards and some of the backs. And it just showed what they're really made of in pace and when they have that space that they can use. As we have Murray now with the last tackle of the set. He's going to play the ball. Berkeley goes to Hellier, who kicks it down to the wing of Musa. It's fielded well by Jimmy Musa in the SRL Mines last season. And yeah, he's been quite a player for some time, going a little bit inactive and just making his return for this new SRL Mines season.
I played with him last season, or I should say I played against him. He was an absolute nightmare for us to handle back when I was at the Gunslingers, and I expect him to do the same. And sorry, it seems we've got a forward pass here.
Yeah, that is a bad error there from the Stingrays early on. Coven Walmsley receiving the forward pass. That's a coach killer right there, and that's going to be really problematic as O'Donnell now through the line makes it to the 50 before he's dragged down by Phyllis Windmill-Skeed. Joseph Jackson now looks to dummy. Can't trick the Stingray defense. He's going to play the ball about 40 out from the opposition line now. O'Donnell inside ball to Murray. Not much there to be made from the winger as he'll play the ball. Berkeley goes to Jackson. O'Donnell steps one, goes through, but he's reeled in by Dante Moore. You can't get any more ground than that. It's the fourth, just over 20 out from the opposition line. Milo Kerrigan now with it. He's been somewhat of a, not controversial rather, but an interesting player to watch. The great head, but he's young as ever as Murray goes through, and there we go. The Firehawks are the first to put points on the board.
An excellent try, Will, and I think this is where we really see that opening of space with the nines format. So we see, I believe that is...
It's Dylan Murray, that one.
Dylan Murray. Okay, so we've got Dylan Murray there. He can't get across in time because he doesn't have another player beside him. And then we see the Firehawks come through, and there's the try.
Indeed, as we'll have the big bloke, Alan Berkeley, a very, very big hooker indeed. Just look at the size of him. It's hooker by trade and a big boot at that. As he just slots it in, it almost hit the right upright there. And the Firehawks will be very happy with that start indeed.
Absolutely. Points on the board is the most important thing when you're in the mines. You don't have much time to work with, and it's a long way from end to end. So it'll really be up onto the Stingrays now to force an error and get that ball back to try and get some points of their own.
Into their will as it's Hellier with the field now. Kerrigan getting the ball off the pass. Getting a nice line break there, but he just couldn't get away from all the Stingray defense. Joseph Jackson now finding some space. He's testing them with that right foot step there. He's going to play the ball. Berkeley goes right to Dylan Murray. Goes outside to Oh, back inside to Berkeley again there. He's reeled up at the 40. It's going to be Don Pongston, the man, at hooker. Oh, it's come off his thigh there, I think, Milo Kerrigan. And the referee calls play on. Joseph Jackson now, just beyond the 50. O'Donnell. Monkey. Justin Monkey through the line. The Firehawks have turned it on already. An offload to Hellier has sent it. They're 15 metres out on the last tackle here. The Firehawks looking to expand their lead. We'll see what they go here. Berkeley goes left to O'Donnell. Puts up a high kick. It goes very high indeed. And it's Musa with the catch in goal.
Bit too deep there. They just need to get their heads back in the game. They got a bit excited on the first set after points. And now they've got a 7 tackle set to defend.
Did they do is now we have Dante Moore taking a step. Can't get around Don Pongston, who's the Mohawk freak as they call him. He's absolutely one of the flyers of the mines. As now we have Walmsley through the line. Windmill skied. He's just only by a finger reeled in by Daniel Hellier there. Tedesco goes right to Crichton to Musa. Musa steps one. Jimmy Musa can't get around the rest of them. Playing back on his usual position of wing today. And we have Windmill skied now. Can't get away again from that man. Daniel Hellier showing us some great defense early on. It's Pute through the line and he's put it down in the corner for the Stingrays.
Well, that's a pretty straightforward error from the Firehawks in defence. They just did not shift with the ball, and the Stingrays are in a position to take advantage of that. Barely has to do any work at all. It's a very simple step to the outside, and there goes the meat pie.
There was a good effort there from Pitt to actually get on the outside of the Firehawks and place it in the corner, but unfortunately now his goal kicker will have a hard time. It's Jack Crichton rather. He'll have the kick and we'll see how he goes. And that is a good kick there, straight over the black dot. It curved back inside and the game's tied up now between the Stingrays and the Firehawks.
Jeez, what a kick. Excellent kick. Now, the Firehawks, they're back on equal footing. So it's up to them, again, to respond. And for the Stingrays, that most important thing is getting to the end of their set after points.
Absolutely is, and we've seen some teams struggle with that, and that's something that causes the major losses, both in the SRL and the SRL Mines. We've seen more commonly in the SRL lately. As Tadic through the line now, he looked dangerous for a second. Don Pongston almost fell asleep at the wheel, but he got him in the end. Driscoll now with a run, pushing forward towards that 40-metre line. Doesn't quite get there yet. Tedesco goes left to Tadic. Pute through the line, steps one. Can't get around Pongston. He drives him back. The Mohawk flyer. As we have Crichton. Tadic goes right to Musa. Tries to step, but the little man can't quite get away from the Firehawks defence there. Walmsley goes to Windmill skied. Once again, driven back in the tackle. Ben O'Donnell joining his teammate there in making sure that he can't get around. Crichton now with the last play kick. Crossfield kick goes straight to Hellier. Hellier's got a bit of space here, and he's going to be just driven in by Dante Moore. Good catch there by the fullback for the Stingrays.
Yeah, and that was a great defensive set from the Firehawks. Now, I know that might not necessarily sound that way, but to reel them into 65 metres when you're in that Mines format is an excellent effort after the sort of kick in the teeth of having conceded points. Let's see what they can do now.
Absolutely. Now we have Richards taking up a hit of himself. Justin Richards, the big second rower. Hellier, Pongston, Murray, down the wing. Murray can't get around his opposition there. And it's going to be the last, just 15 metres out here, the Firehawks. Ben O'Donnell putting up a big, deep kick. It's a big bomb. The chase is nowhere near, and Dante Moore takes a very comfortable catch there in goal.
You know, I've got to say that for the Firehawks, the kicking game has been a bit of a disappointment so far. That's now 2 kicks we've seen straight into the in-goal on the full. The halves really should be getting themselves into a bit of a better position than that.
Absolutely, they should as Tadic now. He's going to play the ball. Tedesco goes to Crichton. Inside ball to Moore. Moore can't get away from the Firehawks there. And he's trapped by Dustin Richards. Walmsley now taking on the line. Goes inside ball to Tedesco. They lose a few meters in that offload. They're just at the 50 now. The Stingrays just in the corner there. Crichton goes to Pitt. Gets through the line here. Inside offload to Windmill Skeed. He can't get away from the very ever ready Firehawks defense. Dante Moore now trying to take on the line there. Dante Moore, he's going to play the ball about 35 out from the opposition line here. It's the last tackle. Tedesco goes to Windmill Skeed. Puts the kick down to Dylan Murray. And Murray can't get away from that kick chase. And that's the end of the first half. We'll see you in the second half back on SRL TV.
The Super League war tears the code apart.
You're simply the best, better than all the rest, better than anyone I've ever met.
Brigginshaw takes them on. Welcome, Warriors. And the Proven Summit Trophy. First signing, Preston Campbell. Stacey, South Melbourne Firehawkes. New workers march today in protest. Inside for Elba. Elba will score. Newcastle. Dancing in the streets of Newcastle. He's just coming up outside. Now inside. He hits it. He's got it. He's got the field goal.
A big moment for equality.
Cameron Smith. 400 games. What a milestone. What an inspiration.
Welcome back to SRL TV. It's the Stingrays versus the Firehawks. If you're just joining us, it's a 6-all score at half-time. We're looking forward to this second half here with Alan Berkeley about to kick us off. I'm joined in the commentary box by Blair Curtin. How do you think that first half went?
I think that first half showed strengths and weaknesses for both teams. I think the kicking game has been a bit of a disappointment all around. Whether for the Firehawks it's put in straight into the in-goal or a bit of a lack of incisiveness from the Stingrays. The Firehawks did get a kick in very well in the first half that led to the try. And I think really for both teams, it's going to be getting to the end of the set, not freaking out about the lack of time left on the clock, and just taking that next step to get the points on the board, whether it's by pass or kick.
Indeed it will be, as Ginny Musa now stepping, gets around one. We saw in the last game, you didn't get to watch the last game unfortunately, but it was the Swarm taking it by just a field goal as Jack Crichton just puts it straight into his player, into the back of his own player there.
Well, what can I say? Kicking has been a real weakness for both teams all game, and let's see if the Firehawks can capitalise on this gold-plated opportunity they've been given.
Absolutely. It was Joseph Jackson putting the ball inside for Dustin Richards to take it. He's about 20 out from the line now. Berkeley going right. Hellier goes for the field goal early, and he's gotten it there. Daniel Hellier.
Well, that is a decision. It's not one that I'm sure I would have made under the same circumstances, but let's see how it plays out for him.
Yeah, you know, the very early, it's only been a minute into the second half, or just over rather. And he's already kicking it.
There is tons of time left in this game. Yeah, it's not the decision I would have made under those circumstances. but it's definitely a bold decision, and let's see how the strategy plays out. Maybe they've got something in mind here.
Maybe they do, just making sure they get those point ahead before they try something is maybe the tactic they've gone with. Is O'Donnell now. He's going to take the hit up there. It's the second tackle, and they're already at the 50 just about. Joseph Jackson driven back there. That's some good stuff from the Stingrays. They're going to spread it right. Daniel Hellier, Dom Pongston through the line. He can't get around Gounder, and he's actually put on his backside. Sorry, not Gounder, Dante Moore, rather, as Berkeley, Carrigan. Can't get around there, Milo Kerrigan, and it's the last tackle. Murray now taking a run for himself. And I think Dylan Murray will be disappointed in that last tackle play there.
Not a great end to the set. They'd moved up really well. Although one thing I will say for the Firehawks that they really needed to do off the end of that set, they did get to the end of it. If they dropped the ball in their own 20, that would have been an absolute waste of the field goal.
Absolutely would have. As Jimmy Musa now playing the ball just beyond the 50. It's getting some good meterage early in the set here, the Stingrays. Windmill Skeed going to play the ball at the 40 now. He's done a good job. Tedesco, Crichton goes right to Musa. Musa can't get away from the rest of them.
He's a dangerous player, Musa. You've got to keep your eye on him, because if you give him an inch of space, he'll take 10 metres easy.
Absolutely, he will, as we have Windmill Skeed now playing the ball. Tedesco to Crichton. Puts up a very deep kick indeed. It's O'Donnell with the reception. And that's a great effort there from the winger.
That was not the right kick for the situation, I don't think. I think that they should have gone probably even a grubber in to that shorter side. That probably would have got them either a try or another set, or at least force the Firehawks to play it out of the corner.
Yes, we have Dustin Richards now. He's going to play the ball just beyond the 40. Alan Berkeley goes right to Daniel Hellier. And it's a good kick there, fielded by Dante Moore. And he gets through the first line of defense there, getting very close to the touchline indeed, but he can't quite drive in to touch there, Don Pongston. As Piot now goes to Tedesco, Tadic through the line, straight into the chest of Daniel Hellier. And that's a critical error there from the Stingrays.
Well, I just wonder if that might have cost the Stingrays the game. There's probably about 2 sets more each, I'd say, left to go. And now in one of those 2 sets, the Firehawks are again in pole position to put more points on the board.
As Pongston goes through, the commentator's curse back at it. There you go, Blair Curtin. Congratulations on your first commentator's curse. Don Pongston stepping the Stingrays defense and just steaming through for his first SRL Mines try.
Well, if I may, I think I actually called that one. The Stingrays were put in that the Firehawks, were put in that pole position, and they've taken advantage. It's now about to be a 7-point ball game, I'd say.
I'd say so as well. As Berkeley, yep, absolutely slots that one. That was a great effort there from Dom Pongston. The Stingrays looking all sorts of lackluster in their defense and attack at the moment, and you know that call that they may have cost that game, the intercept. I think they were right on the money there, Blair, as we have Jack Crichton looking to kick off. They're not happy here, the Stingrays. They'll be looking to put points on the board, because otherwise the game's lost with 7 points. They'll be looking for a bonus point try, probably.
It's their only way back into the game. Force it to golden point, and then hope that you can get that point on the board. Golden point when you're in nines football is, really it's a bit of a roulette wheel spin. But it's just about the only chance the Stingrays have at this stage, I'd say.
Indeed, as we have Milo Kerrigan now pushing forward at the 45 now. Joseph Jackson goes to Hellier. Takes a run for himself, the half. He's going to play the ball. Berkeley goes to Kerrigan. Justin Richards driven back in that tackle from the Stingrays. It was Coven Walmsley on top of him in that marker position. Joseph Jackson now putting in a big kick down to the wing of Jimmy Musa. They'll have to watch him on this kick return here as he steps one. And he's taken down there, the little fella, by the Firehawks defense. Kreider now through the line, looking for some more meters for his team. They'll make to the 50 here, the Stingrays. As Tedesco goes right, Pitt to Musa. Musa steps one, down the right edge. Musa, and he can't get there. It's Dom Ponkston that's taken him down. That's a great effort there from the fullback, the new defending on the old, as Windmill skied. Gets it to Tadic, who can't get through the line. They're about just over 10 over, the fourth tackle here. They'll need to put some points on very soon. Driscoll takes on the line, just under a minute and a half to go. As we have Tedesco going right. Windmill skied, puts in a grubber, and it's Milo Kerrigan that's taken it, but he's been forced in goal here.
Whoa, this throws a bit of another twist in the story. How far can Allen get this kick away from his own try line?
Well, that is a huge kick from Alan Berkeley, almost all the way to the 50 there. And Walmsley driven back in the tackle. The Stingrays going to start their set on the 40. The 9 of the Firehawks setting up in defense, ready for a big set here. As Tadic tries to go through the middle, no gaps in there. Milo Kerrigan reeling him in. Driscoll driven back in that tackle. Just under a minute left here. They'll need to get this bonus point try if they are to have any chance of winning this match. Now looking at just under 45 seconds left. Tedesco goes left. Windmill skied. Inside ball to Tadic. Moore gets an offload to Windmill skied, and he's been smashed in the tackle. He's knocked it on straight into the lap of Dom Ponkston.
I think we can call that as the game. I do not see the Stingrays getting this ball back for the rest of the game. If the Firehawks give this up, then it's really their loss. I don't actually have a problem with the way the Stingrays played there. They were definitely looking to try and get that ball into the bonus zone, which is what they needed to level the match, but it hasn't played out for them, unfortunately, this afternoon.
It hasn't, as Monkey's going to take the last one of the game. The fat lady sings, and that is full time on the second game of the SRL Mines. That is the round completed for the second season, or the first season, first round of the second season rather, so I get my words mixed up. And it's the Firehawks with a 13-6 victory over the Stingrays. We'll have a look at some of the stats here. As Blair Curtin's going to run us through in a second. We have Nate Peart and Dom Ponkston and Murray taking a try each. And we have Jack Crichton and Berkeley with the goals there. And Daniel Hellier's the one to kick that field goal at the very start of that second half. It was a bit of an awkward one. And then I'd also like to point out the Firehawks with a 100% completion rate, 10 from 10. That's a great effort there from South Melbourne. And then we look in at the subs here, at the stats here, and just walk us through here for a second, Blair.
Well, I've really got to talk up Jimmy Musa here. Like I said, I played against him previously. He's had an absolute blinder of a game in a losing side. He's made 126 metres, and I think he could be a real weapon in the SRL next year. Aside from that, I was pretty happy with the way that Jack Tedesco played, as well as Nicholas Tadic. He seemed to be a real rock in the forward pack, which is a real tough thing to do in that Nines format.
Absolutely. As we look at the Firehawks now, likewise, they got some great players here. Milo Kerrigan having an absolute cracker of a game. Very good in defense as well with 11 tackles. Justin Monkey with 12 himself, and Alan Berkeley matching Milo Kerrigan at 11. That's a very busy night for those three forwards in that forward pack, the number 7, 8, and 9. And then we have a look at some of the run meters. Again, Milo Kerrigan, 96 meters. Dylan Murray on the wing, 80. There's some great stats already, and just showing off what they're made of with 3 line breaks for multiple players here, being Dylan Murray and Dom Ponkston, Daniel Hellier. It's been a busy night indeed for the Firehawks.
If I may, Will, I would actually like to bring you to a slightly different statistic, which is the 0 missed tackles each for Milo Kerrigan and for, I believe it is Alan Berkeley. They both made 11 tackles each with 0 missed. In the Nines format, that is an incredibly difficult achievement to pull off, and I would like to congratulate them both for it.
Yeah, indeed. I did miss that, and that's a great effort from both of them there. And likewise for Dom Ponkston, that fullback role, making sure that no players get past him. Anyway, alas, I have been your SRL Mines Commissioner, Will Kay. I've been joined in the commentary box by Blair Curtin. Thank you for joining us tonight. And that concludes our first round of the SRL Mines. Please join us next week for more SRL Mines action. And good afternoon and good night.